All right. Now, hopefully, we've got audio and everything is working. I'm hoping that this, for the first time today, sounds like good audio. All right, sounds like we have good audio. Finally. Okay, so this is the third time I've attempted to stream this, and I've had audio problems trying to do different things. None of it has worked doing the audio differently. So, headset, it is going to be today, ladies and gentlemen. We are talking about professional wrestling. We are talking about Impact Wrestling, or I guess more correctly, Anthem Sports and Entertainment, because it's not sports entertainment, it's sports and entertainment, because I guess Vince owns that or whatever. But anyway, Anthem, they have acquired a majority interest in Access TV. Access TV brings you the Access TV network and also HDNet movies. Access used to be known as HDNet years ago. They were one of the first to bring HD TV to cable systems and satellite providers. So anyway, what does this mean? Well, basically, this means that Anthem, for years, they've been struggling. They've been trying to find a good network to be on. They were on Spike TV, but then once they left Spike, they just really had a hard time finding, a good network to be on. Being on, what were those other channels that they were on? Destination America was one, and Pop, which had been the TV Guide channel, became Pop TV. And I don't even know if that one still exists anymore, to be honest. But anyway, so Anthem, they've really been trying to get Impact onto a good new home. Pursuit Network that they're on now is one that just people do not have. You can watch it on Twitch, but not a lot of people stream video off of Twitch to watch wrestling programs. They like to watch it on the big screen TV as opposed to on a computer or whatever. So they just finally decided, hey, we are going to put some money into finding a new home. And the new home that they got was, in fact, Access TV. Here you can see Figure 4 has the story. This is also on SB Nation. All over the place. A lot of people are carrying this. It's kind of a big deal for these things right now. And you may say, well, Impact, they haven't really been important. They haven't really been, a company to worry about or to pay attention to for a while. So why do we care that suddenly that they're on this other network? Like, why is this a big deal? Well, it's a big deal for the main reason that, of course, we're seeing a lot of shifting in professional wrestling right now. WWE is bringing NXT up to USA. SmackDown is going to the Fox network, so it is going to be on one of the big four broadcasting networks, as opposed to being a cable-only thing. So this is big. This is kind of like back when they got onto WB or Paramount, whatever, and then now it's the CW, before it started jumping around and whatever. But SmackDown being on Fox is a big deal that brings a lot of eyes. AEW, of course, going to TNT. That's going to be a big deal for them because that's a channel in a lot of households. And Anthem just decided it's time to do something with Impact. We got to find them a good home, a new home, and that is going to be Access TV. So, but why is Access important? Some of you may go, well, I kind of remember hearing about Access, but I don't really remember. Well, Access is actually the home of New Japan Pro Wrestling here in the United States. New Japan is, of course, one of the favorites of fans of professional wrestling. It is a geek chic pro wrestling promotion to watch in the United States because they do have some of the best pro wrestling globally. And in fact, a lot of the guys that are in AEW came from New Japan. Kenny Omega, that's where he was for quite a while. Made a name for himself, got a lot of people to pay attention. And so that is big. But also, Access TV is the home of WOW, the Women of Wrestling. So a lot of talent going through WOW and through New Japan. They get a lot of eyeballs on Access. And so Access is going to be adding Impact Wrestling to their ongoing schedule, which makes it a more important channel to watch. And then, of course, you can't forget about ROH being out there on the Sinclair stations, being broadcast, syndicated, but still on a lot of networks out there. So ROH being a big place. And then also, right now with professional wrestling, we get Major League Wrestling on beIN Sports. Now, I like Major League Wrestling. That's one of the ones that I enjoy watching a lot. And of course, a lot of the talent from there is also in AEW. That's where MJF, one of the greatest heels now in professional wrestling, that's where he's from. So it's really cool to see all of the stuff happening in professional wrestling. But you may be thinking to yourself, that's great that they're on Access, but you think to yourself, I don't have Access. I can't watch the channel. Well, I know it's carried by Sling. Now, there may be some other streaming providers. I'm not sure View, DirecTV Now. I'm not sure what they have anymore, where exactly those are. But Sling TV does carry it. And in fact, Sling TV also carries beIN Sports. So you can get a Sling TV account, $25, $30 a month, depending on how you configure your package. But you can get New Japan Pro Wrestling, you can get Women of Wrestling, you can get now Impact and Major League Wrestling. You're going to get all of those through Sling TV. And again, like I said, might be some other streaming providers, but of course your cable company, if you still have cable TV, you can get the stuff through there, satellite as well. Access is in a lot of cable systems and satellite systems because again, Mark Cuban, he founded this as a way to get HD content into these providers. So that's how the whole network started. So this is a big deal because it makes the channel much more appealing to advertisers. It's a lot easier for them to get sponsors for things like this because it makes the channel much more of a destination for fans of professional wrestling. So it is a pretty big deal that they've gone through this, that they've been able to work out this deal. But there's also one little aspect of this that gets overlooked a lot of times. And that, if I can find it, yeah, right here. Let's throw this up on the screen. Steve Harvey is joining Anthem as an investor. An agreement for content development in part of Anthem's portfolio. Steve Harvey Global will have a seat on Anthem's board of directors. Now, you may think, I'm not that big of a fan of Steve Harvey. Okay, well, you don't have to be. But him getting involved in Anthem brings more attention to Anthem. Anthem getting more attention, combined with the fact that Anthem's now going to be on a much easier to view network like Access, will perceive it as being a bigger brand and a bigger deal. And having Steve Harvey involved, even if he's not necessarily involved in Impact per se, but the fact that he's going to be part of Anthem and helping to develop new shows and whatever is just going to add more eyeballs to Anthem, more eyeballs to Impact. And Impact, quite honestly, has not been terrible for the last year or so. They've actually done some pretty good shows, if you can check them out. So NWA doing a new TV show, ROH out there. Now we've got Impact moving to this network where they are with New Japan and Women of Wrestling. We've got Major League Wrestling, which has a lot of great talent. We've got AEW getting ready to launch. We've got WWE moving NXT to USA and SmackDown moving over to Fox. These are big things happening in the world of professional wrestling. The entire wrestling landscape in a month, 2 months is going to look completely different than the way it looks today. In a year, it may look completely different. It looks completely different now from where it looked 2 years ago. It's just one of those things where it's building, it's churning, it's changing, it's becoming something bigger and better, hopefully better, because hopefully all of this competition, all these eyeballs, all of this interest coming back to professional wrestling will help to make a much better product, which quite honestly is something that professional wrestling needs these days because it hasn't always been the greatest show on earth for the last couple of years. But all right, that's going to do it for this episode of the Nerd News Desk. Hopefully this take 3, turns out to be a good one. I'll be back in a little while to do previews of comics coming out this week. But for now, that's going to do it for me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.